We got a big game today. Star Fox 64 for the N64, my all-time favorite games and my absolute favorite Star Fox game. Now we're going to be covering the N64 and the Wii port since it's on the Virtual Console. And next time, maybe on a different review, like I said with Maverick 100X, I'm going to be tackling the remake, which is on the 3DS, because that one is equally just as good, if not a bit better than this. But I wanted to get the original out of the way since it's really nostalgic and it's just as good of a game as the remake is, so it has nostalgic value. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you in the next one. But watch and enjoy. Star Fox on the SNES was a really huge hit that used the FX chip to provide 3D graphics. It was one of the first to really do this, and it looked really good, and it was commercially successful. It was an awesome game that I'll be getting reviewed really shortly. I just want to focus on 64 right now. But 64 wouldn't really have started development if it weren't for Star Fox 2. Also going to be released on the SNES, but they canned the game basically right before the N64 came out, and the game was basically done. It just needed an English translation. It was all the way finished. Why did they cancel it? Because they wanted to make way for the N64, which is a new 3D console, and basically at the time, a lot of inferior hardware was considered shit. It's completely different nowadays because everyone really loves the old system, so the point was, back then, they wanted to focus on the new system. So Star Fox 64 was created to combine a lot of stuff about 1, but mostly bring in stuff like 2 with the all-range mode, Star Wolf, and many other gameplay options. So 64 is considered to be half remake, half sequel, with the plot being basically the same as Star Fox 1, but a lot of the ideas brought from Star Fox 2. So how that melt together into a game? Well, it came out successful. Star Fox 64 is considered the best in the series and is the most financially successful. So what does that mean? That means it's a really kick-ass game. Star Fox 64's plot is kind of simple, but it's actually kind of the same as the original. Andros is an evil scientist who is bent on taking over the YOS system, so it's up to a group of 4 members to stop him. Star Fox, which consists of Fox McCloud, Falco Lombardi, Peppy Hare, and Slippy Toad. No one likes Slippy, but at least he's there. What they do in the game is they try to stop him by going through 7 different levels, all the way from Corneria to Venom. So the object is to combine different pathways and to go to Venom and finally stop Andros. And that's basically the plot. There's a couple twists and turns of different missions you could do, but the whole objective is to just get from Corneria to Venom and stop Andros. Star Fox 64's gameplay is really awesome. It's classic arcade style shoot 'em up. It's just you fly an Artwing, go through the stages, and just shoot with A, throw your bombs with B, and do different maneuvers like boosting, U-turns, and all that really awesome shit. It's classic. It's just really cool because it's a rail shooter. So that means you're just on one set pathway just going forward and you can't go backwards. Except when you're in all range mode, and that basically means that you're free to go wherever you want to fight certain bosses. Or stages like Katina where you have Bill and you're able to fully move around and shoot enemies as you please. But most of the time you're just in a straight pathway just shooting at enemies that come ahead. If enemies somehow come behind you, all you have to do is just brake and they'll easily come by you so you can shoot them. So the gameplay's pretty simple. And Star Fox 64 doesn't have that much of a challenge. It's actually a really short game. This game can easily take you an hour to beat if you just take a pathway. But the thing about Star Fox 64 is it has really good playability because it has 3 different pathways, which is the easy mode, normal, and hard. And hard mode is where you get the true ending to defeat Andros in his true form. Because if not, you can still beat the game and beat Andros, but it's a little bit different. That I'll get into at the end. But the thing is, if you really want to go for the 100% completion, then you either need to play all the pathways or beat Andros in his true form. For me, though, it doesn't really matter because the boss fight is different. But if I'm just going to get to the end of the game, just beat a boss, I might as well just do it because I like to beat it fast. Because this game could easily be beat for me like in 45 minutes. And it's an absolute joy to play. Star Fox 64 controls amazingly with its controller. And even the N64 controller, which I absolutely hate because of, well, the sticks and sometimes how responsive it is. I just don't like it that much. I think it's actually Nintendo's one of the worst controllers ever made. I know it has its following, but for me it's just not that good. I kind of recommend playing the game on the Virtual Console on the Wii or the Wii U. But for what it is, it works fine. It controls great. It just offers smooth precision, awesome shooting, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun. While you're playing Star Fox 64, your teammates will constantly talk to you. That could either be annoying or cool. Back then it was kind of cool because the N64 is kind of infamous for not having a really good voice chip in its games, as the audio usually detracts, and that's why the N64 uses cartridges and can't really hold, like, say, CD quality music. But to have voice acting constantly in an N64 game, and back then for kids, that was awesome. So the teammates constantly talked to, like, Falco with his wise-ass fucking voice, Peppy with his wisdom and controls, and Slippy with his annoyingness. Slippy's kind of...
Hey, he was mine! Hey, leave me alone! Hey, nice aircraft, guys! Hey, we made it! Hey, what?
Shut the fuck up!
While the levels are really straightforward in Star Fox 64, the bosses are actually really fun and offer a pretty challenge. They're really unique in how they do. My favorite is the Solar boss, just because of how it looks and how it dies at the end. Like, damn, that shit's badass, man. Like I said a bit earlier, if you're taking the easy pathway versus Andros, he's really piss easy. But that's expected on the easy path. But I think if you're a first-time player, or if you're like me, where you play this game like a million times and just like beating it through, seeing how you get the fastest time and how fast you can do it, then it's okay, because I'm not going to spoil the game and show you how Andros looks at the end, but I can tell you that on the easy side, he's really, really, like, ridiculously easy. Star Fox 64 is my favorite rail shooter of all time, and also my favorite in the series. I love this game to death. It's just a joy to blast and play, and see how fast you can do it, what you can do, the multiple pathways, and just see how you can alter the game. It's just fantastic, and I recommend it to anybody, and especially if you're trying to get into the series. This is the absolute first game you should play. And if you're thinking about playing this one, or go for the 3DS remake, it doesn't really matter. But I really think you should start with the N64 one just to see where it started off. Or if you don't have an N64, like, if for some reason you're one of those people and can't stand how old games look or how they play, then just go for the 3DS one in case you're too pompous to play this old, wretched game that you think has aged so terribly. I really hate that term, by the way. I really do. But hey, Star Fox 64, it's a great game, and I really recommend playing it. I love it. It's one of my favorite of all time, and my absolute favorite, one of my favorite Nintendo games. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next review.